Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Fallout New Vegas. So, we're still trying to find any quest that we can do before we move the main story forward. One of those is talking to Camp McCarran in Bitter about reassigning soldiers. To do that, I think what I would need to do is fast travel to North Vegas and change out of this Enclave armor. Enclave, I guess, technically is a bitter enemy of the NCR, so putting on some NCR armor, probably the best quality, most valuable NCR armor, would help with my relationship with him, but also it is just because I did one house, Mr. House quest, that has me as a good-natured rascal instead of as an idolized character. The good news here is we might be able to avoid doing all of that, and we will be able to do the companion quest if we just do what I thought I was going to do, which is fast travel to the location, Cottonwood Cove, down here, and just kill all the Legion people. First thing, though, we might want to go to Camp Searchlight, and then we'll work our way to the Cottonwood Cove. That will give me history points, is what they say they are. Companion points, loyalty points, whatever you want to call them. It's not mentioned in the game. With Boone, my companion, to finally unlock his side companion. And then to do the quest that is here, which is glitched, seemingly kind of intentionally glitched, but probably not really that intentionally glitched. This game is just buggy. We know that. We've seen it crash plenty of times. I'm going to have to just use a console command to move that forward, which is fine, I suppose. Now, if I recall correctly, this Camp Searchlight is...
We won't go quiet. Hang on there, traveler. You'll want to steer clear of this place. The whole town's irradiated to high hell.
So, there's a whole conversation here that I guess I missed because I came in from some corner and just ran past it.
I was stationed at Camp Searchlight before the incident. I've since taken it upon myself to keep travelers away from the area.
So this is yet another example of a area where there's a quest, but unless I'm just going to fast travel to every single location, which I might very well do once I have unlocked the perk that locates every location, there's just no telling how many quests are left to be done.
Some legionaries snuck into the camp and set off some kind of radiation bomb. I don't know where they got it, but it was damn effective. Killed almost everyone and turned the rest into ghouls. I was out on patrol at the time, so I wasn't in the camp when it happened. There were a few others with me after it happened, including some of my superiors. Between radiation poisoning and attacks by the Legion, they all died out. I don't know, unfortunately. There may be clues somewhere inside the camp, but I'm not about to run in there to find out.
Let's just exhaust all this dialogue.
The Rangers at Echo have been keeping an eye on that place. It's relatively new, but those bastards have already dug in. They appear to be running a slave trading operation, and it also seems to be one of the primary crossing points for Legion raiding parties. If you could scout out the camp, bring back any intel on troop movement or plans for future raids, the Rangers could put that information to good use. And also, if you're any good at covert ops, I would love to get a bug planted on their radio. So far, we've been unable to crack their encryption. Good to hear. This is the bug you'll need for the radio. Report back if you pick up any intel, or manage to sneak the bug into their radio. Head north toward Novak. Look for a big dinosaur. Can't miss it. The whole area is irradiated and filled with mutated creatures. Mostly
So
ghouls,
this, I guess, was the place where you were first supposed to
some geckos moved in not too long
run
ago. They seem to stick mostly
into
to the south end of
ghouls.
the camp.
But it's just so easy to not
north
have
toward
seen
Nova.
this section.
Because it's a far safer place to be than here. Ma'am?
Very odd.
No,
Man,
please
the
back
rest of
in
these
our
characters are just
Hope we can defend
non-named
it this
NPCs. Okay. So, switch around here. Eye for an eye. Says to go this way and plant a bug. Find intel on Legion raids. Find general intel on Legion troop movements. Mostly I think I'm just going to irradiate people. Meanwhile, let's just keep an eye on what our radiation level would be and just kind of wander around. My rad resistance and endurance is probably high enough that none of this is going to matter one bit. We'll let Boone take out some ghouls. That would give me NCR trooper armor the easy way. So that wouldn't even make me run back to the scheming means nothing. ING is right. Are there only two things in the same spot with synopsis? No, there aren't even two things. Correct. So surround. Three things correct. There. Could it be supplied? Yes. So we, I guess, can activate a turret defense here. Maybe that will help. Maybe we can find some Sunset Sarsaparilla boxes. Looks like there's a storage here. Let's see what's down here. Yep. Feels like this may just be...
tower on the strip all lit up? You can see it for miles.
Wow, a whole different section here with different group of people.
Name's Logan. What the hell do you want? Look, I don't need your shit. Either get out. What do you want now? That's not... All I know is... And that my employer is paying me some caravan company, Crimson something or other. Some old
So this
broad
connects
said they were
to
looking
Crimson
expand their
Caravan.
business, be more... I don't really...
So we probably...
Look, if you really want to help... The location of some radiation suits. I found an inventory list that's... The computer should... Yeah, you do that.
Take a rat away. Meanwhile, we should probably search rat away, rebound, stim packs, doctor's bag, duffel bags, not to be confused with doctor's bag.
So I hear the honcho...
You know, you could really simplify
Yeah, they'll find his body someday.
the list of objects by having really only one object per letter of the alphabet. So instead of duffel bag and I mean, we might as well just take everything. Instead of duffel bags and doctor's bag, it should just be doctor's bags. That would be a very easy way. Let's go with tortured. Tortured gives us 4. So, see 3 in line with tortured. The second 0, the last 2. But I don't... Oh wait, I do see an R, the third R, so that should be right. So, the Crimson Caravan was supposed to lead me to Camp Searchlight. And here you have a computer that is programmed a little bit better in that it has more than just
You hear there was some kind of shootout
the
at one of them casinos on the strip? Some people got
safe
killed or something.
lock being disengaged.
They say the Kings got massacred. Who's gonna watch over Freeside
Of course,
now?
the problem I would say you run into here is even at 1 resistance or 1 rad per second,
Fixing to attack
the more
the
seconds you're around, the higher the chance that goes to a dangerous level. Welding guns are weirdly an object that you can see but can't do anything with. I believe that was the same case in Fallout 3, and I definitely get the feeling that the majority of the code base here is shared. With all of this items you can search, you could easily get distracted and create a bad situation for yourself where you are over radiated and you can't get to where you can save
That tower
yourself from the
room is
radiation.
one you can see for miles. I hear it ain't sealed up no more. That Mr. House who lorded over the strip is dead. What do you want now?
Let's see.
Tell you what, bring us those suits and you can come with us while we loot the town. All right, fine. Just go already.
So now we have a Wheel of Fortune quest to be distracted with. So let's set that. Speak to someone in Nipton, which is way over there. Can't fast travel from this location, but why not? While we're over here, we'll take a rat away to lower radiation. 1 rat away taking a significant amount of radiation away. I still just don't really feel like there's any reason why you would ever possibly walk between those 2 locations. So they were just planning on you to go up here and travel this way when there was a perfectly good road this way to Novak. Yeah. And the whole game is just pushing you towards working your way down from Good Springs around to this area. Feels like there should have been some kind of gate that would have stopped you, but if anything, this Legion raid camp encouraged me the first time I walked here to go that direction. So we've seen Boxcar for a while. I don't feel like Boxcar has been shirtless and clothesless before. Maybe he has, and I just haven't been paying attention.
What is it this time? I saw some Legion assholes carrying crates to a cave north of here. May have been NCR shit. I don't fucking know. Bye.
Okay. So that gives us slightly more of a reason to do something more in Nipton, which definitely felt like it was a very dead and empty location. Now inherently, either this cave is not one I've visited before, which there's a decent chance of that, or I have visited it and could not pick up the supplies. Oh, and boy are the train tracks absolutely pointless in this game. I had such ambition when I first started playing this game 100 hours ago or so of the railroad track getting restored, the entire Mojave being restored, and it's just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. It could happen post main game, certainly, but the only thing I could expect, if that was going to be the case, is that it would just make all of the areas richer. Which, that's not a terrible thought overall. If Fallout games did have a point where you became considerably richer, if the entire land just became greener, had more caps, had more supplies, everybody was a little bit happier. It couldn't be a perfect place or world. You'd still need enemies and reasons to do things, but you could certainly introduce a whole post-game gameplay concept. Although, inherently, for a Fallout game and for the way those stories are told, probably would make more sense for it to get worse and for the entire place to just get nuked. That would then lead to more war, more conflict. Alright, and then again, I just don't see a reason why you wouldn't want to fast travel, other than the fact that there is a decent chance that there's something around here. We can spin around and see that at least from this spot there aren't any unfilled small triangles to indicate any new location.
You're back. What can I do for you?
So this guy's going to talk to us again.
Is it me, or has the Brotherhood stopped engaging?
The light right now is really bright. Not sure if something's weird is going on here or not. Let's just make sure we're not overburdened. Nope. And our status. Well, he doesn't say anything, so this is just how the game wants to depict itself. I feel like it's probably glitching somewhat. I still have a suspicion that a lot of the crashes in this game come from the audio playing in one location, you fast traveling, and then it trying to play in a different audio. I don't know why that would cause a problem, but
Someone finally put down that sick motor
it
runner
could.
son of a bitch. Good riddance.
Anything is possible.
What do you want now? It's about damn time. You ready to go? What? We're gonna check out the police and fire stations. They were the buildings used most by the NCR, so they're our best chance at good shit. I found the keys on one of the trooper corpses. Anything that's valuable. You done with the questions yet? We're gonna check out. It's about damn time.
So this is interesting because this highlights where you're best to see people in radiation suits is, or see the radiation suits in general, is to have somebody else wear them instead of have me wear them. So we see a police station over here, and I guess that's where we're going first. And here's a Mark III turret. But you would think that there would be more ghouls running in general directions. Kind of hard to tell who's enemy and who's friend or foe when this visual effect is happening. NCR trooper armor, trooper helmet, trooper helmet. Pretty sure I already have some authority classes, so we'll get rid of that also. Radiation is getting higher as we get closer to our goal. So yeah, this feels like this is supposed to be a bit of a spooky section. From the looks of it. Happening only one is correct, so let's go with prolonged. Only one is correct. So, if I did convinces, we'll just try it again. Those words were a little too difficult. So it almost feels like you're supposed to turn on all these turrets. And maybe we'll get a side quest with that to just kill constant spawning ghouls. And that if you were in the specific area, within a certain radius, you would maybe get XP for the turrets killing infinitely spawning ghouls. We would have needed a key. Now we are back to much better visuals, and we'll just let our companion deal with all of that. Nuka-Colas, of course, would raise your radiation if we were drinking them. There is certainly room for a few more prisoners, or prisons and jails, police stations in the game. But I'm not 100% sure what they'd really do with them. We have a massive amount of computers, which is not really the Fallout universe set up where you would just run into terminals. So I'm gonna assume anything that says broken terminal is just broken. And so they've just gotten very fancy with all of this. Got it right on the first time. No extra XP for that. Let's pretend like we're reading all of that. It didn't seem like that did anything, and here we can see entire textures loading in and loading out.
You hear there was some kind of shooting on the strip? Some people got killed.
Yep. Yeah, that's just way too many computer terminals in one place. How are we? As far as radiation goes. We have 3 rataways, so we can use 2. Don't know if all those computers were supposed to somehow be connected to Mr. House or not. It definitely feels like any place where we have found computers, it could have been overridden or taken over by Mr. House. Should I really be picking up scrap metal? No. Can't go up any higher, so is that just that's it for the quest? Go with Logan to search the police station seems to still be what we're doing, so maybe we just have to talk to Logan. People are just randomly sitting down.
Now he knows how we feel about the NCR around here.
What do you want now? Anything branded by the NCR related to weapons, computers, or radios?
NCR radio parts. Computer parts. Oh, so now all of a sudden I'm finding stuff.
Have you seen that tower on the strip all lit up? You can see it for miles.
Assume the broken communication terminals are still the same, and I would assume that everything else is pretty much the same. Just see. Guess we should probably just check and see if if we have enough now.
What do you want now? There's got to be more than that.
So this is a hidden object game where you've got to find it all.
Got massacred. Who's gonna watch over Freeside now?
Okay. So this kind of means I needed to empty all of the inventories. This is about the only place ever where that really makes sense. There's sensor modules we can take. Let's see our grenade launcher. And let's go ahead and dump off some items. I wouldn't blame somebody from forgetting how to jump.
Fine by me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't really expect that the game really wanted me to jump. Let's see. Toilets can just be activated. There's not anything around that. Oh, this is going to be really, really unfair. Okay. Let's activate all this. So it must be this computer. Must have to just read all of this a second time. Unless there was something about these broken communication terminals that would trigger something. You kind of wish you could take the flag and decorate your house with it. Is that what I was missing? Is an NCR rifle?
What do you want now? There's got...
There'll be more. Keep looking. I'm thinking maybe it's not in places as much as it is just sitting around outside.
That President Killer nearly got killed at Hoover Dam. Now he knows how we feel about the NCR around here.
I may have found everything already. This has to really highlight how even playing as an OCD collector can still be not good enough for a game. Unless I have to take the ashtray and the steam gauge. Or maybe that would be some secret thing hidden in the corners here. Fingers crossed that we've already found everything.
What do you want now? All right, we can move now. Here's the key to the fire station.
And then we're back to this. And I guess we're going just in this general direction. This is 4 rads a second, wherever we're going here. Which, yeah. If I'm gonna do that, I need to take some rad away and some rad X. Get that down. Let's figure out way in. Come on, where is the door? We are here. It wants me to work my way around. It's kind of weird. You have another church on this side. And there's a another golden gecko. There's nothing here, though, other than the golden geckos, as far as I can tell. You'd think this might be full of Radex, or...
The NCR took back Nelson. Maybe they can win this war after.
Am I facing the right direction even? I'd like to be able to search more of these locations, but is it worth it to, in this case in particular, pick up a bunch of toys from the elementary school? And you can kind of tell how the game doesn't really care to help. Like, let's just ask some basic question here. Is there even a Radex crafting recipe? Nope. Just jumps directly into recycling. Nothing Radex. So while I can craft other items, none of that's going to matter too much. If I'm in danger of straight up just instant dying from radiation. And yeah, it's not like there's a caravan, traveling merchant character that would be nearby to buy Radex from. So I kind of just need to finish this quest quickly. Here we have a very hard computer. Replenishing is 3 right, so yeah. Do we have anything else ing? No. Quarterstaff is probably a terrible choice. Civilization seems like a bad choice. Infiltration seems like a bad choice. Anticipating is 2 right, so it's not ing. Authenticity, if I can pronounce the word right. Pretty obviously, if I see 3 right and it ends ing, I'm assuming that it's ing. Which there's really no reason to make that assumption, it's just easy way of thinking, even though it's wrong way of thinking. So there's just this one door. All those other sections. This must be locked in here specifically because of this giantness of this radiation queen. I mean, this rad scorpion queen. I wouldn't mind seeing something that big. In fact, I'm very shocked that we were able to even see that. I wouldn't have expected that at all. Alright, well, we are just on the verge of getting the highest level of radiation possible. So, while we wait for that to happen, so we can show off what the effects are, let's drink some sunset sarsaparillas. Right now, with critical radiation poisoning, our strength is -1, our endurance is not -3, our agility is -2. My Tesla armor, by the way, is increasing my radiation resistance by +20, and still, I think you max out at 85% radiation. So it's at, wait about 5 seconds, and with that Rad-X wore off. Now we have deadly radiation poison, strength -2, endurance -3, agility minus that. So we eliminate that much, we take another Rad-X. We still need some rad away. And I assume this is just loading us into another area. An area where we'll have to be fairly quick about what we're doing. Let's see. This game has not felt like it has experimented much at all in different ways it designs areas or dungeons. So it is a little surprising to run into this area. Where they are trying to balance out hacking more. This would have been very good early game if you had a lot of hacking skill and chose to go that way, which is exactly what I did. So yeah, that would have been really useful. Now it is kind of illogical and story breaking to have so much rad away in an area that was not full of radiation before the fact, and then the area would get irradiated. I guess these are supposed to be makeshift showers and shower curtains. You cannot walk through them. Wouldn't say that there's anything unique about this firehouse other than it is a firehouse, and we haven't seen firehouses anywhere else. Overall though, it pretty much is just a building. Definitely doesn't feel like the Ghostbusters firehouse or anything like that. Radiated water, irradiated sunset sarsaparillas, we'll take radiated beer, flour. You know what, I'm gonna take one of everything irradiated just because I don't have irradiated variants, which is definitely being an OCD about what I'm picking up. So yeah, it definitely feels like there was a thought here that I'm gonna take all of this. This may seem insane to take all of this, but I believe one of my crafting recipes will turn all of those items into metal.
Fine by me.
This is still taking a lot of my inventory up. So we'll just fill up his inventory instead. It definitely is a thought that you could have had a whole irradiated gameplay mechanic, but clearly they didn't stick with that. So yeah, I can't really be super impressed by that. How are we on the quest, by the way? Have we done what we needed to do? It says go with Logan to search the firehouse. Search fire station. Searchlight fire station. It just wants me to run out this door. So I guess what they're also implying here is that the fire station doesn't really have fire trucks the way you would normally expect them to look. Instead, you just have these like disposal services systems. Notice how I just clipped directly through this giant character. We need definitely take another Radix. Honestly, I don't think without a radiation suit and Radix any early player could make it through this. I feel like I should be talking to somebody here. I can't wait in this area. It's not even popping up the wait option. I feel like the game is glitched again. I think what's happened here is the other characters ran off when I went into a building. I may just have to run off too.
You hear there was some kind of shootout at one of them casinos on the strip? Some people... I don't know where the hell you were going, but it's not the right way. Are you... Damn right it is.
Okay. So apparently I went the wrong way. Which could be a very deadly mistake.
Kind of shootout at one of them casinos on the strip? Some people got killed or something.
Let's see.
Shut up and keep going.
So I'm assuming that's what I was looking for.
Howdy. What do you want now? Same stuff. Any NCR?
Alright. I've just become over
Fine by me.
encumbered again because my strength went down.
Gonna be hard covering you when I can't move my legs.
You know what? This isn't going to work, so let's try something different here. Let's go down the drugs and see if we can do buff out. While we're also at it, can we do anything that would increase our radiation resistance anymore? I don't think anything actually reduces your radiation though. Right, so we're looking for surface level stuff. Like that gun, which I'm pretty sure just appeared. We are racing against time this time. NCR radio parts, which are used as just... they're using the fission batteries model. So I'm having to search both the duffel bags and the areas
Tower on the
around.
strip, the one you can see for miles. I hear it ain't sealed up no more.
Still can't go in here. Don't see anything. Fire helmet. So some visual storytelling, I guess, around the idea of somebody dying in the toilet. If I had some more time... Wasn't paying enough attention. Okay.
Shut up and keep going.
Seriously. Gotta deal with things as quickly as possible here. Gun. NCR frag grenades. NCR radio parts. Computer parts. Cup. Computer parts. Turbos. Missiles. That seems like that was completely different as far as what was in it last time I looked. We are just out of time.
You hear there was some kind of shootout at one of them casinos on the strip?
So I hope
Some people got killed or something.
here's the. I think we found everything.
What do you want now? All right. Thank you. Found you.
Let's hope there were some rataways. On one of these. Come on. Maybe what we can do at least is put on the radiation suit. Alright. One radiation suit. One metal helmet. Two leather enforced armors. One Legion recruit armor. I think we pretty much already have a Legion recruit armor. That and that. Versus that. Maybe that? Nope. You have to use the radiation suit alone. Fire helmet. We will turn into metal helmet. 9mm submachine gun can convert into that. Combat knives. Merging. That still leaves me with very little. Somehow my HP is at 531 and 475. It's probably because of the radiation lowering my health. Would be my guess. Now the other problem here is we're just going to be full of heavy items. So let's go ahead and drop a bone saw. This whole log page from Camp Guardian, never did figure out what the point of that was. We didn't use the counterfeit passport, I think. Drop a drinking glass. Drop the empty sunset sarsaparillas. Fission battery might be useful, but it's probably worth just dropping it for, because we can find more of those. Golden gecko hides. What we're going to also need to do is decide which way we're going to run away from the radiation, because it is going to be an absolute mad dash. I don't know if I can even survive it. 5 pounds still. A lot of this I could. I have no idea what a reverse pulse cleaner is about. A lot of this I think I could use to craft something if I can just get out of this area fast enough. Which is going to auto-save me, which we may be really screwed here. See, because it just auto-saved me as I was on the verge. I can't do anything. Here. Let's see what happens if I try to bring up the console. If I can maybe reduce my radiation that way. Nope. Okay, I can get into the menu if I want to. Ooh, which means maybe I could fast travel. I do think it's just going to apply that first radiation to you, though. Right, well, we know that some of these places are not radiated, so instantaneously when this loads, I have to bring up the menu before it registers. Radiation. The effect here at 1,000 is minus 1,000, 10,000 HP. Is there possibly some way we could get 10,000 HP? See, and see, I thought I could turn up the console just typing the tilde, but it doesn't seem like that's working anyways. Well, we're probably gonna die anyway, so why is my HP going higher? I mean, why was it going lower? Oh, and this is just such a bad situation now. Like, it's either I'm gonna have to replay a significant amount of content, and see, when you're tapping the B there, you only have one tap you can do, but you kind of have to mash the B button to get to it. I imagine there probably is an app out there that would modify your save file. So you wouldn't be trapped in this 1 second cycle, less than a second cycle. And imagine the loading, if the loading took a long time. But I mean, it just doesn't matter. There's clearly just no programming checks here to say, hey, if you just lived or loaded a new level, you should have like 5 seconds of invulnerability or something. See, this may be getting worse, not better. Okay. So when I use a stim pack here, it should be HP plus 81. That just lost me 81 health. That just lowered my HP. Oh, so every action I take is a fraction of a second. I guess. So unless I can just get out of here somewhere. Why did it let me fast travel before? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if I fast travel though. It's just gonna save me in the next spot. Okay. There's just no way, I think, to get around this. You have a fraction of a second to bring up your menu, and then even in that, I don't think you can get away from an area quick enough. Yeah, my health right now is 377. I'm not overwhelmed, overburdened. Damage resistance, I don't think is going to affect anything. $146 HP. Seems like I could do that. Still taking damage. taking a damage resistance though, then reduces it by addicted to Med-X, whatever. Using a stim pack there is not helping, still taking damage. I would need Radaway. Minus 10,000 HP. Turbo. I'm thinking of anything possible that could be done. Alright, well, I'm going to pause the recording and see what I can do. Otherwise, we're just going to have to redo all of this content. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I was able to unplug my controller, and as such, I am now using a mouse and keyboard for a second. This will show us just how far we really needed to run before I would have gotten outside the radiation zone. Would have been roughly this far, and then the game crashed. So what I did is I with the mouse and keyboard was able to bring up the console mode and then type in TGM, which is toggle God mode. That way we can walk to an area, and so I effectively won't die. Now, when I load in from this point, will God mode still be enabled? I'm not sure. We could enable it here. You just shift tilde or shift to get to the tilde, then type in TGM. Now if you're playing on a console, there's just no way. I have to escape the console first. There's just no way you would be able to really fix this, and your game would have just been totally corrupted. And that has happened to me at least once in video games, where the save game is just so incredibly corrupted and there aren't rolling save games. So yeah, this might be a case where actually I cannot get away from the radiation. There we go. So what I want to do now is figure out what button would bring up the menu. Because we're still in that bad problem. In God mode, you don't use up bullets, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Z, X, Y, C. Q and E isn't doing anything. R, F, Z. Let's just see if we can see the controls to bring up what we're supposed to do. Bring up the Pip-Boy with the tab button. Okay. Close with E. Then right mouse button. Then hit tab. then let's see, how are we gonna pan? Just by dragging and scrolling. Which I am noticing that using the mouse and scroll wheel, I am so we're at least in a different place now. We'll just have to deal with this for a brief
You're
second
back.
more,
Do you need
and then
medical
I'll plug in
attention?
the controller again.
It'll be easy enough to purge all rads from your system. Alright, this will only take a few minutes.
So,
Because you're a friend of the followers, I can give you a bit of a discount.
100. Let's see, we can buy all of those. 100 caps just to reduce all of that. And I can take a moment here to just talk about how this feels.
Take care.
Very old school in comparison. Okay. So as far as I can tell, there's no reason for anything to kill me. I still don't have any Rad-X, and so that's going to be an issue. But the move is to, well, first of all, let's hit tab, hit E to open the door. That'll save us. And then we'll bring up this, and we'll turn off God mode. Okay. And that means when we fire, bullets will be used, and we are back in business now. So then I will just go ahead and plug in my Xbox One controller, or Xbox Core controller is what they're called. And now, not the really expensive ones, but not also an Xbox 360, even though they're fairly similar. So yeah, we're back in business somewhat, although we are still in kind of a bad position, I would say. Let's see, where's the Crimson Caravan? Where did that go? It's behind me. Alright. Let's walk in here and see if we can buy any Rad-X. We're gonna try and find any place that might sell Rad-X, because we do need to go back to that area.
Hey there.
Don't think we'd be buying any of these weapons, although this thermic lance might be a unique item. We now have a reinforced Mark II combat helmet. Which I guess we'll take one of those. And the rest of this stuff is items I sold to him. I'm not sure how many items I actually... Let's see. 2 Radaways. That's all he's got. That's pretty bad. Pretty useless. No. Meanwhile, what do I want to sell? A perfect condition 9mm submachine gun. Switchblades that I'll probably not care about. 10mm pistol. Combat knife. Frag grenades. Caravan shotgun. Leather reinforced armor. Metal armor. I think that's enough.
See ya.
Okay. And then next move is to just fast travel here. Still not really sure why it's so bright all of a sudden. Yeah. Crazy, certainly. And as I've been trying to highlight things that definitely should not be in games in modern times, the ability to autosave yourself into a unsurvivable situation is a great example of something that should not be allowed to happen. And we'll
Fine
just
by me.
take every piece of clothing and item he has.
I'd really like my beret back, please. Fine by me.
He wants the beret even if he's not going to wear it. That's intriguing. But so we'll throw one fire helmet in here. This combat helmet Mark II is not as good as this combat helmet, but this helmet weighs 5, but this weighs 2.5. So we'll put that in there. And that. And I'm pretty sure we already have a radiation suit. Put that in there, put that in there. Right. Generally, I think what I'm trying to do here is just have one of everything. Without going too crazy overboard or spending a lot of time trying to repair everything to its highest level. You can definitely see that there's way too many of these items, some of which, like the slave scarf, is a little too repetitive. There was another thing here that I wanted to see. We should have Motorhead's helmet in this inventory, but if I don't, we have Motorcycle's helmet, but we don't have Motorhead's helmet. So I probably turned that already into Camp McCarran. The rest of this is just going to be dropped. We'll use the remnants of the fire helmet, and then we'll put on this NCR Trooper armor, which is not what I really would like to be wearing. Drop this. I think we will come back and pick up the remnant outfit and hold on to that. I just imagine we're going to hold on to that always. And then gun wise, don't think we're even too heavy into the guns. May have some items here that I'm putting in the wrong place. Yep. This would all be other items that I just dropped here because I didn't care about them. Let's sell this gun. Let's combine all the combat knives. Let's sell a fire axe. Sell a gauze rifle. That already is probably way more. Sell a laser RCW rifle. Clearly there's a lot of work that would need to be put into all this to get everything to the highest level. Let's just drop things that aren't already in perfect condition because we just don't want to deal with any of that. And see, we may just get at the end of the game and recognize that it's not worth dealing with any of that. Best case scenario, I will have enough here to sell that much, and then maybe that much. And that is only if I buy something back. It's gonna have to be something fairly big. See if we can grab the helmets out of this. Could also see if there's anything here in this overflow that I think I can actually use to craft things with. I don't think there really is too much. Buy pre-war money. And that balances it out pretty well. And we can sell 3 frag mines. But it doesn't end there. Turn on the flashlight. Because then the next step would be to take all of these items and see what we can craft. Cookery to metal, we can do twice. Overcharge, we can do. We can make more grenades. We can make a weapon repair kit. Which, that does make an interesting argument, certainly, in that you might hit a point here where making a weapon repair kit is your best bet. These are all mostly aid items that we have exactly one of. Or mostly miscellaneous items that we have exactly one of. This refrigerator is not even really being used. So move here would be to put all the irradiated items in here, just in case there is some need for it. Squirrel stew, squirrel on a stick. Okay. Then we would have to come back here and just look and see if there's one. And in this case, having one of everything is way more of a OCD thing than anything else, because you're probably not going to ever need just one of these items. It's just not likely that that's going to be the case. You're going to need multiple food items. If I ran to this house and had picked up one rat away from this refrigerator, that wouldn't have done me any good at all. Then it doesn't end there. Now we throw our extra aid items that take weight. Although I'm not sure ant nectar was one of them. Although it kind of doesn't matter. Should probably dump the auto injector stim packs too. We're gonna sell all of these, but we're not gonna get any coins from them. So to address that, we're going to have to buy something fairly expensive. Maybe not that expensive. I think ice cold Nuka-Colas are probably the irradiated sunset sarsaparillas. I guess we'll just drink those. Still may not be really making a significant amount of progress towards lowering our Wait. Keep one stealth boy. Seems like he might use those. Weapon repair kits. Obviously I'll keep. But a Xander root we can just get rid of. Okay. Then imagine that's not super valuable, so let's just see if we buy that recon armor. Recon armor is 1250 caps too much. So we really only need to buy something that's about 500 caps. So we'll buy that recon armor. And then do we even want to buy the Mark Charmer outfit? Sure. We are still over encumbered at this point. £488. What are we carrying still that is overburdening, and that's that much? Let's see what we can do at the ammo level. As far as apparently we can make rocket ammo. And that just made like 10 rockets. Break down scrap metal to lead. It's not really probably a big deal. 357 JFP hand ammo, sure, we'll start with that. I don't know if I'd ever have an actual gun that would use that. And the rest of this would just be breaking down things. So yeah, this whole reload station's still not very helpful. We can convert missiles to rockets. I guess if we wanted to. Which that means the rest of this is holding me down. Is not an aid item, but it is a massive item like this. Just a miscellaneous item that I thought might have some crafting value, but I have been proven to be fairly wrong about. Yeah. And that's where the whole vendor trash really starts to irritate. And then I thought I could turn all the metal cooking spoons and metal cooking pots into a lot of items, but a lot of lead. But even if I had converted it to lead, lead is not useful enough. So it definitely makes me wonder, when am I going to be able to craft items? Because if I could craft items, then that would possibly make an argument far as better ways to use these items. I'm gonna have to also just assume that most of the items, well, I'm gonna have to assume that I need to buy something like 5,000. See if we bought this. That's not right. But it does tell us a decent number, and that if this was 5,399 and it goes down to nearly 4,000, we need something that's about 1,500 in value. Let's see, so 500, this, and this, and this, and then this, and this, and this. Okay, then, so if we left that, then they'd owe me 2 caps. I think that works fairly well. As far as more garbage to just throw back in here. We're just moving things backwards and forwards. So that has me down. Not as low as I'd like it to be. You should probably try both of these guns, but I also would say we need to get rid of something if we're gonna do that. Put that in that spot, and then let's not put any in there, I guess. Guess what we want to do is let's go and just store grenades. That gets me down to 95. I think that's about as good as you're gonna get if we take the NCR trooper armor and this helmet. Which, if we're gonna take the Tesla helmet, then we should leave the Gannon family helmet. There we go. Then I would have to just brutally assume everything else is non-negotiable as far as weight goes. And then we're still in this weird position. Like that little side quest here. What's this? I don't know if we did everything there was to do. Let's go back to Camp Searchlight. And then let's see if we can talk to anybody. You may have a few new things here you can craft, but I don't think it's enough. We're looking for the main guy, and he seems like he's wandered off. I'm dressed as an NCR member. And that's Boone. And apparently I can't pause the game in this area because maybe it's just a special area. Okay. So we've just been here, we've been here. Let's take a little bit of a glance as far as, do we even need to take Brand X? Might as well. Just gonna take a little bit of a look this direction. Let's see if we find anything interesting. Main thought, I guess, would be that I could get to the local map and reveal more of the local map. See if there's any other locations. Is this the troops we want to talk to?
You're back. What can I do for you? Stay safe.
Okay. Nothing here. From the looks of it, nothing under the bridge. Definitely feels like it is a fairly small area. So let's just see if we can maybe check these areas over here. Just make sure it's not anything particularly too weird. I am seeing a triangle here pointing me in a new direction. So I guess it pays to be distracted. The Searchlight Airport was a kind of interesting area. That's another area to potentially check out. Searchlight North Gold Mine. I'm wondering if maybe some of those dark arrow areas that I thought were nothing actually did have doorways to more mines, and the entrance to the mines were just kind of hidden due to glitchiness. So there's a possibility that that's the case. Remember, the only reason we're even getting karma right now is because of the few times I've stolen something I've lost karma. Definitely feels like if you wanted to do energy based weapons, you would struggle with that. The energy-based weapons just don't feel quite good enough that they would make up for the fact pickaxes can't pick up them. It just doesn't feel like it would make up for the fact that there's not enough bullets being dropped.
Can't run from me.
The last time we were given a proper stealth mission, we failed miserably. The second, well, yeah, and then the time before that, I was given a proper stealth mission. I also failed miserably. So, the possibility of doing another stealth mission doesn't leave me with a lot of hope. I think I will just use a stealth boy. By investigating a fairly large tunnel here, as far as a gold mine. You'd think a gold mine might have gold in it. It does imply at some point there was people looking for gold. I think even visually there you could see that the laser was bending to actually hit the enemy when I was actually not firing at the enemy. Okay. Dead prospector. And some dynamite. And some dirty water. And a lot of boxes that you can't do anything with, which definitely feels unfair and inconsistent. One is assuming you can't blow this up, but it's worth a try. At least we've got enough dynamite. Yep, not surprised that didn't work. I suppose that is another way in which the game could open up if all of a sudden after the main game all these tunnels interconnected. That would be interesting. Fallout 3 kind of does some of that. In fact, yeah, if you're going to have any interconnected tunnels, having a giant open world map where everything is interconnected sounds fairly appealing. I can see that there is another unfilled in triangle this direction. I'm assuming that I just missed several things in this area and that this wouldn't lead to a longer traveling area where I'm just like constantly being pushed to see new things. Here we have a Sunset Sarsaparilla Star bottle cap. We need exactly one more, I believe, of those. Although we were also just going to drink the irradiated Sunset Sarsaparillas. Three more Sunset Sarsaparillas. Not really expecting too much in this area. Not really expecting too much for the rest of this game. Vacuum cleaners seem to be fairly heavy and fairly rare. Thank goodness they're rare. They definitely feel like the worst thing you could possibly pick up on accident. Take a BB gun. That'll probably be a mistake. And we're still just surrounded by this large amount of fog. Sorry. I can't, obviously can see through this more than most. I have no idea what that is supposed to be, but I think that's probably supposed to be something you can pick up. We're definitely not finding enough duct tape for as useful as that item seems to be. So this looks like this is just a miner's hut. And kind of nothing else. Feels like there should be a safe in every location like this. Jukebox.
Welcome back to the Mr. New Vegas show. The show with, in my opinion, which I respect, the best looking audience around. Somebody prove me wrong.
Okay, the visuals look a little bit better now. We spin around, I don't see any empty triangles, but I do question whether there's a mine somewhere here. Because this says this is the Coyote Mine house, where specifically would be the Coyote Mine be then. I think logic would probably indicate that it's downward. Should probably check the map, and we should probably also end. I have already apparently seen the Coyote Mine, maybe. I suspect I think there's an invisible fence here. I suspect what we've done is walked to the Coyote Mine on the other side of this wall and didn't go any further. Nope. This looks new to me. We'll find out very quickly when we start getting attacked by coyotes. Of course, would be surprising if we were attacked by something else. Got some nice purple glowing mushrooms. If I turn the flashlight on, man, there's definitely a mod you need also. Pretty obvious. Just a default mod to turn on the flashlight and for the game to not penalize you by making you more detectable when the flashlight is turned on. I hate that this game has scrap electronics and scrap metal. Again, it would make a lot of sense for there to be only one item per letter of the alphabet. That would limit you
The
down to
customer who been to the
26.
strip told me the faces on the robots there changed from police to soldiers. Now, why would that be?
So we have a prospector here in what looks like a slave collar. See if maybe we can be hidden. Nope. Doesn't seem like you can take the slave collar off. That'd be funny if that's what you pickpocketed him for. Alright. Looks to me like there's another side of this cave. And yeah, it would be intriguing if half of the cave was a person's location and then the other half of the cave was full of enemies. To me, it definitely just feels like they're making you walk in more places. At the very least, you could have booby traps. Instead, we've got this. Perhaps the idea was going to be more of a city type location. So nothing there. We are in this weird catch-22. I can go back to Camp McCarran and see if by wearing the NCR trooper outfit I'm better accepted. I could try and stealth my way into Cottonwood Cove and place the transmitter wearing the NCR outfit, which I think probably makes the most sense. And then I'm just assuming Camp Searchlight doesn't have too much more around it that I've missed. There isn't really a stealth suit, however, as it goes. So, but that's fine, the Legion hates me anyways, so stealth suit seems like that would, if there was a stealth suit, that would be helpful, but if there isn't such a thing, then whatever. So we're gonna try and plant a bug using a stealth suit at Cottonwood Cove and finish this quest. And then when that fails miserably, we'll just kill everybody at Cottonwood Cove, which will help Boone's companion quest go. This is funny. There's a lot fewer people listed now here, and I don't know if that's something that happened because of one thing or because I went into God mode, but yeah, that there's a lot fewer general people I'm associated with. I know in the debug mode you could have done that, but I didn't intentionally type in anything in the console mode to cause that to happen. I haven't gotten the perker in a long time. Maybe just going into God mode fixed some bugginess. Still, I could go into the console mode and do this quest, and there is a decent argument to doing that quest in particular, just to see if it goes any further. I don't think it really is going to go any further. And then we just have a ton of everything. I'm getting very overwhelmed just with this menu, but just in general with the game. I would heavily suspect there is at least one point of interest in this area. I would heavily suspect that I didn't do everything here, and that there's possibly something here, and possibly something here. Maybe even something here. Maybe something here. Maybe something over here. Probably something here. But I will resolve most of those by just taking the perk that will move us to the... that will reveal everything on the map. Yep. Well, yeah. We end this episode in a very weird position in that, yes, I'm happy that the PC version of the game allowed me to go into console mode and save myself, but I'm only happy in the smallest amount because for anybody playing on console, for anyone unaware of the console commands, they would have just been trapped forever, and their whole experience would have been ruined there. 100 hours just down the toilet of gameplay, and that's completely unacceptable and easily solvable by just having rolling save points or checks to make your player be in god mode as far as taking damage, at least for a few seconds when they exit the door. That probably wouldn't have saved me much, but yeah, rolling saves certainly would have saved me quite a bit there. I think that really also highlights the problem with even doing a radiation race type labyrinth, is that there's too high of a chance of something like that going wrong. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.